Habermas talks about Foucault deceptively, like a technocrat, describing Foucault as a historian of science, but who studies cultural history with a philosophical interest in madness as a phenomenon complementary to reason. But Foucault actually thinks that since Kant, the role of philosophy is to prevent reason from going beyond the limits of what is given in experience, at the same time, since the development of modern state, the role of philosophy is also to keep watch over the excessive powers of political rationality, which is a rather high expectation. Foucault made clear that his research is not about power, but how people are subjected to the power, a struggle between the individual and the collective.
What Foucault was doing in his earlier time, particularly with madness in civilization, madness in the age of reason, he's talking about the madness. That's what Foucault started with. He was fascinated, obsessed with the idea of madness. The way we were brought up, and we believe madness is an illness. We categorize madness as an illness, that as a solid reality that the people lost their mind is an illness. Rationally, we can judge that and then can deal with that. But that's not true in human history. That was not the case. Madness was not considered as a special illness. It's like getting cold and have a diarrhea. In a sense, people are not treated in a special category. From the Chinese way of medicine, you look at madness basically is a part of your body out of balance, that it can be treated in some way, but it's just like everybody else. You have diarrhea, then we treat you. And to a point, cannot be treated, then you're just going to die from diarrhea. That's your life. What's so special about that? In a sense, in our society, we don't treat the mad people same way as we treat people who have cancer, do we? Because essentially, we have this very special category about the people are mad. They lost their mind, so we put them on the side. So they're kind of like death sentenced prisoners and patients dying in their hospital bed. Basically, we can't treat them. So what are we going to do with them? It's really a prejudice. That's what it is. And this is why Foucault decided to study this thing. Foucault particularly studied madness, is that the madness, in a sense, is a recreated reality. It's a constitutionalized concept. When we are so much trying to distinguish mad people from the normal people, what's our gauging? Our gauging is the rationality. But the rationality itself in other cultures is never stable. So in Buddhist view, there is no such thing called the irrational versus rational, because the rational, irrational, always one thing of two sides. It changes back and forth depending on the time and the place. So we don't have a fixed thing called rationality. But in the Western world, since the Greek time, and it will always focus on this idea, we need to fix this. We need to define what is rational, irrational. Under this view, we constitutionalize that the people are mad. Mental institution is really no different from a hospital. Doctors have their own view, disregard the practical issue, misdiagnose. They're going to treat you what they think is right. They make things worse or get you killed. This happens all the time. Hospital is not different from a mental institution. If we go a step further, let's talk about universities. Some people are way better off not go to college. They'll have a much better, happy life. And even people are able to manage themselves, go through college and get a degree, not necessarily is going to make their life better. And even they do, but the society not necessarily always rewarded with you what you studied. You look at a university, become another problem. So now you parallel all those things. Mental institution, hospital, universities. You don't think they're the same? This is what Foucault's essential idea of institutionalized reasoning. It's all because of power behind it. Power, not the power as a single political power or primitive authoritative power. The power of discourse, power of thinking. Thinking, power of discourse around the idea of reason. Then we come up with this thing. We build those institutions. This is what Foucault's essential approach. Habermas is standing for the professors. In a sense, the professors, just like plumbers. Without us, all your plumbing is going to be stuck. In reasoning, that's true, but we never had plumbing as we think today. So every household follows in the history. Everybody else seems to be doing okay. So in other words, university is a good thing. If we didn't have universities, people would be happier. Things would be easier. We don't know these things. The question is not about against the university or support university. You have to be objective, see what is going on. I think people like Foucault, Derrida, they have a relatively pure intention to seek truth and true knowledge and to give that back to people. I do think even knowledge is unstable, but still I think they're doing their best trying to stabilize knowledge and give people back. People like Habermas trying to deny this whole fact. They're trying to gain this authority and tell you without them, you can't do it.